Hello everybody, today we're going to unbox, take a close-up look and test the BECEMURU 69-in-1 electric screwdriver set. So let's go ahead and open up the box. So of course we do that by flipping out the box flap and up to reveal the BECEMURU 69-in-1 electric screwdriver set. And now let's go ahead and pop the contents out. So there appears to be some form of card, and let's carefully tip the box of the BECEMURU 69-in-1 electric screwdriver set out, and then just checking that there's nothing else left behind in this brown card packaging. So now we're gonna set that box to the side right there and lay the contents from which we've just removed from it in the middle of the frame right there. And now let's start off by first taking a look at this card. So it does appear to be in Chinese, not quite sure what it says, maybe somebody can translate. Okay, so I'm going to set that card to the top left hand side, and then moving on to the BECEMURU 69-in-1 electric screwdriver set itself. Let's take a close-up look around the box. So it's also branded as a Wowstick, as you can see, 69-in-1, and taking an all-round look around the box. And of course, there is some product details on the underside of the box in several languages. Okay, and now let's go ahead and open it up. So we do that, but of course peeling off the shrink wrapper, so I'm just going to use a penknife to very carefully puncture the shrink wrapper, and of course peeling it off. Okay, so that's the wrapper off. Now let's slide the sleeve off the box right there. Just making sure nothing else left behind. We're just going to set the box at the top right there. Okay. And now let's continue to remove the contents. There it says, I'm a screw pad. So there is a screw pad, whatever that is. And let's very carefully remove the contents once again from the box, as you can see, revealing more boxes. So boxes within boxes within boxes. So I'm going to give you a close-up look now. Let's turn it the right way around so you can see what exactly is contained in this BECEMURU 69-in-1 electric screwdriver set packaging. Okay, so I guess that's a nice close-up view. Clearly you can read the text on the boxes before my hands or fingers get in the way. And now let's go ahead and, of course, see if we can lift this tab to remove the contents from the box. So you can see a very efficiently packaged box let's continue removing the contents. So there is a lower layer, as you can see, giving you that close-up again to the contents in there. So there seems to be more attachments or heads. Let's remove them. So there is a base and there is a toolbox as well. So very nicely packaged electric screwdriver set. And finally we do have a card that's set in the bottom of the packaging, so that's the box completely emptied, making sure there's nothing else on the underside, being that that was in a sleeve before. So we're going to find some space to lay this down as well. So right there we've got all the contents laid out across the tabletop. Okay, let's start off by first taking a look at what appears to be the manual for the Wowstick or 69-in-1 electric screwdriver set. So I'm going to give you a close-up look. So the text is very fine, and this one appears to be in English. Okay, so I'm going to slowly slide down the page of this leaflet, so you've got all the reference information that you might need. And there is a reverse side as well, super tiny text. And then moving on through, just so you have the information for your reference. Obviously I'm not reading this in real time, just don't have that ability right now. And let's move on to the next one. So this one appears to be in Chinese, so I assume this is the user manual in the Chinese form. Okay, that's for our Chinese viewers. Don't want to leave anyone out or behind. Let's all be very inclusive here. Okay, so that's the user manual in Chinese, I believe. So let's set them aside right there, just slightly off frame, seeing that our tabletop estate space here is at a premium. Okay, moving on. Let's start off by first taking a look at the pad. So there is a screw pad. I guess it's a working surface. Let's go ahead and unpack this. Of course, sliding. Oh, just showing you the profile as well, just how thin that is. Okay, carefully slide this card sleeve open to reveal the screw pad. So we're going to put that screw pad just off frame there. And it's nice to see that it is packaged in recyclable packaging. And let's slide the contents out. So this is going to be quite a lengthy unboxing. As you can see, there's lots of bits to cover, so you might want to fast forward if you really just want to see the electric screwdriver in action. Hopefully we can just maybe power it up and get it spinning a little bit. But now I'm struggling to get this screw pad out, seeing that everything is so tightly packaged. Okay, there we go. We've released the static cling from it, and now you can see the screw pad. So a very luxurious feeling screw pad, nice and supple, yet you can see the thickness. It is fairly thick, given that this screwdriver set is actually pretty handy and small, so you don't really need anything too thick in terms of a screw pad or working protective surface here. And there we go, screw pad, just to remind you or let you know what this item is. So just to show you in the palm of my hand, just so you have some perspective there. Okay, now I'm going to set that right down there. And moving on to the next item is the base. It says I'm a base. It's one of the accessories, so all these are accessories. Let's find out how we can open this box here. So looking for the right opening. Okay, perhaps. Oh, and also there's some information there. Material aluminium. Storage requirements keep dry. So nice to see that attention to detail to the packaging as well. Okay, so once again, trying to find. No, I'm fumbling a little bit here, so just bear with me. Try my best not to do too much damage to it, and try to do everything in a very calm and sensible manner here. Okay, so there we go. A base feels really heavy and solid, and of course made out of aluminium, lightweight and very, very strong. So beautifully crafted, as you can see right there, holding it in my fingers there. And I guess the base is just for resting or keeping the electric screwdriver on when not in use. Okay, so I'm going to set that base down right there. I'm going to show you we're seeing the underside. Quick close-up look before this video gets too long. Right there, then you see the BECEMURU branding or Wowstick branding. And right there. Okay. Going to set that down. Moving on to the next item. I'm going to speed this up slightly. I'm not quite sure if you guys will appreciate the speeding up or slowing down. I know you guys tend to want my videos to run at the usual slow pace, but for those new to the channel, they don't quite have the patience to be watching the entire video, or they're just not familiar with skipping forward. Okay, so here we go. So toolbox accessories. As it says, everything's pretty detailed here. Let's pop this open now, if I can. So perhaps maybe this side. Looking for the right way. There we go. And there's a whole bunch of bits in here, as you can see very quickly. I'm just going to tip it out onto the tabletop because that's a lot quicker rather than picking them out piece by piece. So that's just a card separator there. Let's put that back in and set the box to the side, and let's see what we've just tipped out from the toolbox accessories packaging or box right there. So a whole bunch of things which mainly or mostly appear to be mobile phone accessory parts which you use or tools for servicing mobile phones. So that appears to be a case back remover, which you kind of apply the suction cup ring on the back of a mobile phone to separate the back and the chassis. Okay, right, I'm going to set that aside. And this appears to be a spudge or whatever you call it, just to get between the gaps of a mobile phone's edges, so you can separate the phone out from its chassis, the body, and parts, the plating from the chassis, because there's normally adhesive stuck to the smartphone. Okay, so next item, not quite sure what this is, but there appears to be some text on it. So it does say magnetize, demagnetize, so it is a block, I believe, for demagnetizing and magnetizing, I suppose. What? Perhaps the tools or the heads, not quite sure, but feel free to correct me on it. So as you can see, the details right there. Alright, setting that down as well. Moving on to the next item. Appears to be a little bottle here with some super tiny screws, which appear to be Phillips head screws. Okay, perhaps these parts, not quite sure. Don't want to talk too much about it if I'm not too sure what it's for. So just a bottle of Phillips head screws in various lengths. So quite short to not as short. Alright, that's all I can say for now. And of course there is a USB, micro USB cable here, which I believe would be used for charging up the BECEMURU 69-in-1 electric screwdriver. Okay, so let's set that down as well, and then moving on to the head. So look, we've got a long way to go, so feel free to skip forward. So next item here, once again you see the details. I like the attention to detail of this whole product with the packaging, so efficiently packaged and with nice clear information in a nice style. So this is a drill bit set, or the attachments. So it says I'm a bits group with X2. Okay, and let's of course open this box up as well. And material, it just says metal this time, not aluminium or anything too fancy. And as always, keep in a dry place. So I think I should be able to pop this end open. There we go. Not too much of a struggle this time around. And you can see, beautiful. Just checking through, making sure that there's nothing else left in that card box there. And look at how nicely packaged all these heads are. So you can see this good range of heads apparently, or drill bits, or screwdriver bits, I beg your pardon. Altogether there are 56, obviously not in just this one tube, but in addition to the 2 other tubes you see in the background as well. So we'll get there, but this is one part of it. I'm going to give you that close-up detail as to the variety of attachments or heads for the electric screwdriver. So I'm going to turn it the right way around, perhaps, maybe this way, so you can see what's in there. And once again, like I said, the attention to detail with the packaging is very, very good. As you can see right there, X2, and perhaps this is the better way to show you what's contained in this head tube here, with the different types of patterns for the screwdriver heads. It's right there, just going to slide it across very slowly, bit by bit, and just being very careful to avoid the reflection so you can see the details right there. Okay, so right there, I don't think there's a real need to take them out from the tube because that will just be excessively long. Okay, I mean, I don't mind it, but I know some of you, or most of you, don't really see the need for that. Okay, so right there, all the information that you need, hopefully. And moving on to the next tube. So that's one tube. We go to the X3. We should have opened it in order. Didn't realize that there was an X3 and X1 and X2. So this is X3. Doesn't really matter. So it appears to be the same kind of styling in terms of packaging details. Let's pop that box flap open and tip once again the contents out. So once again, nice and detailed. As you can see, this one's the X3, and it contains all these different types of screwdriver bits or heads or attachments. So I'm going to slowly move it across the screen. Okay, going to bring it closer up this time around. And perhaps I'm going to bring all 3 once I've unboxed the third one, so you can see all three in one shot. Okay, so moving across, you can feel free to pause the video, of course, or skip the video. So all of them nicely organized in this tube here. So this is the X3 tube. And now we move on to the X1 tube, of course. So X1 tube, here we are finally, the X1 tube. Let's pop it open and tip the tube out, of course. So this is one more tube to pop open and show you. And there we go. So this is the X1 tube. And this time around, I'm going to show all three, actually. Might be difficult to handle, but let's see what I can do here. By, of course, showing you all three in one go. And up close as well. So, there we go. So that's your whole variety of attachments or heads that can work, or that works with the BECEMURU electric screwdriver. So that's, here we go. And there we go. So altogether, there should be 56 bits, screwdriver bits in here. So there should be something for your needs, your screwdriving needs. Okay, so that's the three tubes of screwdriver bits or heads or attachments. Now let's move on to the next tube or box. So let's see what this box contains. Well, that tube number 3 doesn't want to stay put. Maybe it will now. Okay, so this one is a dual power screwdriver. So let's find out what this is. This is a home tools box right here. And let's see what's in this box and what it's made out of. So this time around, the material is aluminium plus ABS. It says keep dry. So let's pop this out. So this will be the main screwdriver itself. It's very carefully, as you can see. And set the box to the side. So this is the BECEMURU 69-in-1 electric screwdriver. So this is the actual screwdriver itself, or Wowstick. As you can see, that Wowstick branding right there, and giving you a close-up look to it as well. If I can get the autofocus to come in, so just bear with me there. And there we go. Wowstick, and you can see each size of it. So I'm going to give you a close-up look in just a second, but before that, I'm just going to show you in terms of perspective the size of the Wowstick or electric screwdriver. It's right there. And weight-wise, it is very light in relation to the size. It looks long, however, it doesn't feel as heavy as it looks. So very lightweight, as you've seen the material that was stated on the box packaging, aluminium and ABS. ABS is of course a tough plastic. And just giving you a close-up look now of the Wowstick or electric screwdriver. So it does have 3 LEDs there to aid with working in tight, dark spaces. Can see it does have a nice gunmetal grey finish. I'm going to give you this close-up look right here as well. So it does say Wowstick precision screwdriver, dual power. So it spins up to 200 RPM or revolutions per minute. And this is the top or base or underside of the electric screwdriver with the micro USB charging port and what could be an LED status indicator light just above of it. Okay, so nice, good look at the electric screwdriver. Going to give you that close-up detail once again. And I'm gently turning it in my fingers, or rolling it in my fingers just to give you an all-round look. And I've just accidentally pressed on this black power button here. Let's do that again. So you can see and hear the electric screwdriver spinning away there with the LED activating as well. And just to show you, actually let's just show you that side profile as well as to the height of that button from the body. So it is quite a long button, and let's press it at various points. So the middle is a kind of pivot point, and you activate it by either pressing the front of it, which appears to turn clockwise, or the back of it, which rotates it counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. So back portion spins it backwards, and front part of that rocker button or switch turns the screwdriver clockwise. So clockwise, counterclockwise, as you can see. Okay, and it is very quiet and very easy to handle. So no hard press, just a light press will do on the electric screwdriver. And just to show you the kind of illumination and what else is happening around the screwdriver as I press that button down. So it kind of reminds me of a very, very gentle dentist drill in terms of the noise that it makes. Okay, and you can see I'm just going to shine it forward, so just bear in mind if you are prone to kind of being flashed. I'm going to press it right now to show you the kind of brightness. So 3 LEDs in there gives a good amount of illumination for working in very dark situations. So you can see a nice overall illumination. So nice flood rather than harsh and bright. It does provide a nice all-round flood right there with the light. Okay, so one more thing to open up is this final box here. It is a I'm a case box. So we can of course open this final box to discover what's inside of it. Okay, I mean, as clear as it sounds, it just says I'm a case, so what we should be expecting is a simple case. Let's open it from this side, see if I've got any success on this end. And there we go. And let's tip the contents out. And look at that for a change. A white case or box. And there's a packet of desiccant or silica gel just to keep the contents moisture free and dry. I'm going to set that box to the side. And this is a lovely and sleek looking minimalist box here with no unnecessary details. Okay, so nice good look all around. It's nice to see it with good contrast in white, because obviously you want to be able to locate your tools and bits pretty quickly. If this was a dark color, it might get a little bit tricky. Okay, and just to show you, it does remind me of a razor clam, a very fat razor clam. If you've had any of those before, they are quite tasty and hard to come by. Okay, now let's see if we can pop open this, and there we go. And on the inside it is colored black, so it doesn't really help in terms of locating your bits, but at least it might appear a lot cleaner that way, given that you won't get any stains to show up quite as easily. Alright, so inside is very hard plastic, ABS plastic, but it is very light, and you can see that it operates or works by having magnetized buttons there to keep it closed right there and nicely shut. But of course I wouldn't expect this to be something that you want to throw in your backpack and walk around in, because the magnet isn't too strong for harsh activities. So perhaps something you hold in your hand or keep it alone in a separate compartment. Okay, so nice good look there of the case for the BECEMURU 69-in-1 electric screwdriver. So we've covered everything here. The only thing to do now is to actually try and put a screwdriver bit in the electric screwdriver itself. So let's figure this one out. Let's have a look at this tube. I'm looking for the finest or smallest Phillips screwdriver head that I can find. So okay, quick look in the X3 tube. Looking at the X2 tube, these appear to be torque attachments or bits. Set that down and moving on to the X1 tube. So X1 has plenty of different conventional attachments with the Phillips as well as flathead and Allen key as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop it open. Let's open it by opening this end right there. And then let's pull out. You can see just how neatly organized that is. Everything stays in place because the base kind of locks into this kind of post. Okay, so nice, good detailed look right here at all the screwdriver heads, or at least a portion of them. And this is all from the X1 tube. Now giving you a close-up look once again. And right there, nice close-up look. Now let's try, I need a Phillips screwdriver and a small one to that. So this is a very small one. Let's see whether it is the correct one for my use, in which I'm going to demonstrate in just a second. So I'm going to show you the details right there. Close-up look at this tiny Phillips head screw bit or attachment. Let's pop it in, and it does have a magnetized end there in the kind of section of the electric screwdriver, so it keeps the bit in place. And now you can operate it by, of course, pressing the closer button towards the tip, which turns it clockwise, and the back turns it counterclockwise to unscrew or loosen. Okay, So nice close-up look. Again. And it is quite responsive. As I said, that it does provide a good amount of energy to turn your screw, because it turns up to 200 revolutions per minute or 200 RPM. Right there, a simple, easy, lightweight, and easy to control electric screwdriver or Wowstick. And to remove, simply just pull it out from the screw bit holder right there, and once again reinserting it right there, and it stays in place with the magnetized tip on the inside of the holder. Okay, so let's see if we can test it out very quickly. For example, what I do have here is my trusty Nikon D3300 DSLR with the Nikon Nikkor 55-200 lens, which I've both unboxed quite some time ago. And what's happened is the flash release button on this DSLR camera doesn't respond anymore. So when this lens is closed, it doesn't release. So what I believe has happened is the spring arm has come undone on the inside of the lens housing. So lens, I beg your pardon, the flash housing. So there are two, as you can see, or can't see, there are two very tiny screws in there, Phillips screws, which I'll illuminate right now, as you can see now much more clearly over there, and one on that side. And let's see if I can unscrew it using this BECEMURU electric screwdriver. So very carefully. So I'm assuming that I'm using the right screw bit for it. So I just need to make sure that I've got, obviously this isn't the easiest thing to do with a camcorder in the way and a tripod as well. But let's give it a try. Let's do it on that side so you can see more clearly what's happening. I'm just trying to get a lock on the screw head, and that appears to be correct. Let's go ahead and release it, and that doesn't sound like it's doing the right thing, but let's try again. Okay, so it is slipping, and perhaps I'm using a screw head that's a little too small. So let's pop that out and switch that with a bigger one. So perhaps this one will do the trick. So swapping these screw heads right here. So as you can see, two different ones. What I suspect is the small one is definitely too small, but the large one that I have might be a bit too big. So let's find something that's in between if we can. Okay, so perhaps not, but let's give it a twirl anyway. So popping that screw head in, and of course dropping that. Okay, let's give it a twirl now. Okay, and it seems to be maybe not. So like I said, this isn't the easiest thing to do with a camera and tripod in the way, but it is coming out now. So there we go, it has come off. I've used the correct tip or bit this time round, and I can do so on the other side as well, but obviously no point showing you both sides. As you can see that the screw has come off right there. It's actually popped out now. So first time round was using the wrongly sized screw bit being too small, this time around using a much larger one has enabled me to unscrew or loosen the screw from the camera flash housing. So there we go. How simple was that? I mean, of course, with the difficulty of the camcorder in the way and tripod, I'm not able to rest the camera down and use the electric screwdriver perfectly. So, but seeing the struggle as you've seen, I've still managed to very successfully and easily remove that screw from the camera's flash housing using this BECEMURU electric screwdriver. And that LED definitely does help, because see how tiny and dark that space is. It's really hard to get in that spot there. I mean, just looking at this right now, is you wouldn't even think just normally that there'll be a screwdriver in there, but with this flash you can see it makes all the difference. Oh, sorry, not flash but LED torch. It makes all that difference. Okay. So that's the BECEMURU 69-in-1 electric screwdriver set. Thanks for watching and happy screwing!